Hello folks, Jason Chrisman, JC's Bees, your Central Ohio beekeeper. Remember back in April when I bought them packages from Georgia? The ones behind me? Well, today we're going to go in, do a quick inspection on a few of them, and then we're going to go ahead and I want to make a couple quick splits. It's July, nearing the end of July, and this is the month that I don't really like to make splits after. So after July, splits will be done for me. Anything that's looking weak will be combined with a stronger colony, and we're going to start preparing for the cold season, which is coming around the corner, unfortunately. So what we're going to do is we're going to go through these colonies, make a quick inspection, make a few splits. We're going to add a queen excluder, and we're going to throw on some honey supers. They're strong enough that I think that they'll actually make me a little bit of a honey crop. And I've been mowing up here at the farm, so we've got a ton of clover coming on. We're talking about 130 acres in clover right now. So that's something that I should be supering up for. And I actually noticed, if you recall not too long ago, I traded one of my overwintered nukes for a couple Norwegian dwarf goats. And this Amish farmer butts up against the farm here. And just yesterday I drove by his place and noticed he had two nice plots, I'm going to say 3-4 acres each, and buckwheat. So I would love to get some buckwheat honey. If you've ever extracted or know anything at all about buckwheat honey, you can make a pretty decent penny when you sell buckwheat honey, especially in the cold season, because the darker the honey, the more beneficial it is for you, and it's great for cold and flu season. So I'm gonna get my supers on, and kind of anxious to see how these colonies are looking. So let's just dive right in. Okay, so to give you a quick overview of what I brought with me here, I got my excluders here. I've got a super there with an insulated inner cover. I got a couple nukes here for splits. I got a couple nukes down there. And over here, we have some honey supers, some more honey supers. And these particular honey supers have drawn comb. Beautiful drawn comb. So that's what I'll be sticking on, and that'll help. That's actually going to help me get a honey crop because the comb's already drawn. So what we'll do now is we'll get started. We're working on getting my smoker going here, and we'll jump right into it. Okay, first thing I want to point out is you're going to notice I've had a lot of people ask me, how's the tubes working on the hives? Are they stopping small hive beetles? So from what I've noticed up to this point, yes, they have greatly reduced hive beetle numbers. The one thing I do want to mention that I've noticed about the red tubes, and it's like a lot of people predicted, it just slows down the incoming bees from entering the hive, and it reduces that greatly. That's why you see a lot of them sitting right there on the stock tanks, because I just pulled them out. But when I pulled them out, what I felt was in my favor was at that point the colonies were established, they were strong, and strong colonies are able to manage hive beetles pretty much on their own. So maybe the idea should be to use the tube entrances on weaker colonies, splits, until they get established, and then remove them. I don't know. It's something I'm still playing around with. I'm pretty sure that the Tennessee beekeeper that gave me the idea uses them year-round. I guess to do that you would need a lot more of the tube entrance holes and more tubes. But I don't, and I don't want to go drawing a bunch of holes in my boxes. So this is what I've done. So let's dive in and get started and see how the health's looking on them. Now I do want to point out, I made some splits on these, 4 weeks ago. Did walk-away splits, and all of them but one have a mated queen. The one that I am concerned about, I seen eggs, and there wasn't several per cell. There was one per cell, which makes me think they've got a queen, but I have yet to be able to find her. So I'm going to go back in later today and check that colony. Smoker doesn't seem to be going the best, but that's how it works. We'll just pull a couple frames out. This is, like I said, a colony I split there a few weeks ago. So I know they're not going to be ready for another split just yet. But I am seeing a lot of drawn comb in this top box. And it looks like they're storing nectar in it. So let's take a look. Right down the middle. Nice drawn comb. Beautiful. Nice and white. Let's check the next frame. Boy, that frame looks like it bowed down a little bit. This in here, it's lower than this one and this one. So they appear to be using this top box as a honey super now. I don't see any brood. Let's check this next frame. Nope, I lied. Here's the brood. Man, that almost makes me want to do another split. Lots of bees, lots of capped brood, lots of open brood with freshly laid eggs. Man, all the person would have to do is confirm the queen's not on this frame and it's ready for a split. So let's do it. What do you say? We take this frame. I am not seeing a queen. Yeah, no queen. I'm gonna take this frame here with some brood on it, give it to them too. After I confirm there's no queen on here. And I do not see a queen. Next frame. Seems to be fully drawn, but nothing but honey. That's all right. We like honey. Honey means money, right? I'd like to give that split one more frame, and I want to give them a frame with a decent population on it. Some decent food stores. And this might be it right here. Okay, so now I need to replace those frames. Here's a foundationless frame. It's got a wedge at the top, coated in wax, and then I've got fishing line going across the frame. Stick that in there, and then we're going to do 2 of them with plastic foundation, Cellrite, and then we'll stick back in this. Throw a couple, throw an excluder on and a honey super. Okay, so I am going to use a wire excluder. Personally, I don't believe any of the hype that excluders hurt the bees. Never once seen it, but a lot of people like to run with that idea. So here's my queen excluder. That'll keep the queen from moving up into my honey super. And here is my honey super. Again, just like the other one I showed you, this one has drone comb in it too. It's ready to rock and roll. And we'll move to the next one. Pretty simple, pretty simple. Now this one, you're probably going to recall because that blue box is one of my draw out boxes that I was planning to use for mini mating nukes. But after I started adding up how much money is in there in cut comb honey, I decided to leave that box for that reason, cut comb honey. So let's open it up and see how it's looking. Gotta remove the weight. It's ready to open, boys and girls. Got a nice group of bees up top. I'll be honest with you folks, this box here is ready to harvest. Let me go ahead and pull a frame out so you can see what they're looking like. Let me move you in closer actually. Look at that. It's beautiful. It's simply gorgeous. There's 26 of these frames in here. Okay folks, the camera cut out on me. Stupid camera problems, but anyway, while you were away, I went ahead and added a medium, which I was planning to use for a super, below the excluder. That way they've got a decent sized brood chamber. They've got the bottom deep, a medium, excluder, then my cut comb box, and that's how I'm going to leave it. I'm now going to put the top cover on, which is laying over here, and close it up. They got a little bit aggressive on me. I got 5 stings in a matter of a few seconds. One on each, a couple on each forearm, and one in the belly. I tell you, belly's a little sensitive. So, like I said, now I'm going to throw this cover on, and we'll go from there. Now to put the rock back on, or the board and the rock, and get it closed up. And the reason for the board is the lid was trying to warp. So by setting this across there and putting the weight on top of it, it keeps it nice and flat. Of course, it takes a 35-pound piece of limestone to keep it flat. There we go, on to the next one. Victim number 3. Got bees in the top box. Nothing like the population of that one, but that one don't have 2 deeps. Hopefully we can get through this without any more camera issues, folks. I'm trying to move quickly here. I know my camera gets hot after it runs for a while. I don't really know if this one would do anything at all with a super. It's a nice colony. They just haven't built up real quick, or real well, I guess probably because of my splits. I remember taking 2 splits from this one. Not a whole lot of drawn comb in the top box, so I'm not going to mess with it. Can't see no reason to add a super when they've still got a box that they need to get ready for winter. So that one was short and sweet. Now to the back row. Back row, we'll start right here. Was actually a hive beetle right here on top, and you can see this one still has its tubed entrance. The only thing is I've opened up the bottom all the way across, which could be a bad thing. And you know, it doesn't help any that it's got a beetle buster bottom, and there's a beetle in there. That just shows you how well the beetle buster works, I guess. Clearly they didn't go in here. The beetles went through here. Probably not the greatest design for a beetle trap, I guess, if it doesn't work. Not to mention the fact that it cost $100 for one. Nice population of bees in this one. See some drawn comb in the top box. We could have another split here. Nice drawn I tell you, camera problems. Drive you nuts. You think you're recording, you get home to edit later that night and find out, guess what? Your camera wasn't recording. You got about half of the footage you need to make this week's video. So here's what I'm going to do, folks. I'm going to explain the situation a little bit. I use my cell phone to record these videos, and about 3, maybe 4 weeks ago, I upgraded my phone. My old phone, every time I got a call, it sounded like the person that was calling was underwater. I couldn't make sense of anything they were saying. So I bought me another phone and I'm using it now, and it's an older phone. It's nothing new. I'm not into these high dollar phones. I got a Galaxy S5. That's what we're using right now. So I'm adjusting to the new format and the new camera settings, and it's a lot to keep calculated. So I'm working with that, trying to get a little bit better. And to finish this video off, I want to show you the splits I made and explain a little bit more about what you've seen, or why you've seen what you've seen in the previous part of the video. Let's do that first, and then we'll go check out the splits. Then I'll send you off and you can get your day started. I know you're drinking coffee. Okay, we look over here, and if you remember, I made a split off of this colony. This one here I did nothing with, added a super. It was rather strong looking, probably the strongest looking of any of the colonies we looked at. And the reason for that is this colony I have not made any splits from. So this is the package doing what it can do on its own without being split. This one, this one, this one, and that one in the back, this one, have had splits made from them. So I chose to not make any splits from this and let it make a little bit of honey for production. And the rest of them have supers, all except for this one, which I kind of thought they needed to concentrate on their brood box. So that's just a little recap on what you've seen. Overall, pretty happy with the Georgia bees. Seem to be doing a pretty good job, ladies. And now let's go back to my nuke yard at the house, just an 1/8 mile away, and check out the splits I made yesterday and how they're doing today. Just from the outside. We're not going to open anything. Don't be getting excited. Okay, so let me show you these splits I made here real quick. This would be one of them. And the reason I got the branch over the front, I don't really need it today. It's been about 24 hours now. The farm is within an 1/8 mile of my house, which is where we're at now. And to keep any of the bees from returning to the old location, I put that branch there so that they reorientate when they come out. So if we walk down here, here's another one. A little bit more active, it looks like. Get the branch out of the way. Usually after about 24 hours with the branch in front, they know this is their new location. So these will be nukes that I overwinter here at the house. We've already got one. This isn't a split. That there was I only made 3. So we got this one, and the one I showed you clear up there. This one here is a split that I made, I don't know, a month and a half ago, 2 months ago. They're already in 2 boxes. This is one of the walkaway splits that I was talking about earlier in the video. They're now queen right. Same with this one. This one. This is a split I made yesterday, and this is the colony I was talking about that I seen eggs, but I could not find the queen. I don't suspect a laying worker because there was the 1 egg per cell, and they were centered. So there's a queen in there. She's just hiding. And what I've noticed this year is I have trouble finding the darker black queens. For some reason, they just blend in with the drones and you overlook them. We come up here. I've got a colony here that's struggling. Every time I give them a chance to raise a queen, they fail to do so. I bought a queen because I was in between queen rearing myself, and I bought them a queen. For some reason, they killed her. So they're just kind of a troubled colony, and I really don't understand how they stayed alive as long as they have. Split from yesterday. split from a couple weeks ago, which is now queen right. A swarm I caught down the road, a split I've made off of that, and the guardian colony, which is, you can see, in 2 boxes along with the swarm. So things are looking up here in the little Nuke yard. So there you go, folks. There's the update on the packaged bees from Georgia. Have any questions or comments, leave them below this video. If you enjoyed the video, please give it a big thumbs up. That'll help boost it in YouTube search ranks and make it easier for other beekeepers to find. I'd also like to invite you to subscribe if you're not a subscriber of mine, and make sure you click the little bell to make sure you get notified when I release new videos. Thanks for watching JC's Bees, and we'll see you next week, folks.